Okay, so Howie, this is a black ribbon. If you would like to put that on, for a pair, we put it on that side over the heart. That's a good question. I've never done one of these before, I must be honest. Okay, thank you.
We've all said you'll remember it as long as you don't have to just move. Can we stand?
You don't say. Okay, so what?
You guys really need. Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, so if you don't mind, we're able to put a small touch over the left hand side and then one other will lift it a little bit, yeah, over the heart for the head. So I don't know if you're comfortable doing that or.
Does Meryl feel comfortable?
And then you can say the drop with me, Baruch, Atah, Adonai, Eloheinu, Melech, Olam, Dayan, Amen. Everybody here that you weren't expecting to come.
One person will be start though.
You sure? Okay. Okay. As long as you're happy with that. And Zoom is already set up. It's logistic about when we finish on able to walk a little bit. So it's one people.
We should start the Zoom.
Well, obviously, if we're not going out, I suppose we could take it back to whatever.
Okay,
so we do walk a little bit, or that's a little bit difficult. Maybe she's going to stay here in this room. So I'll say because of social distancing, we're not going to because
Oh my God, there's almost 100 people.
Oh my God.
There's 81 people on this.
Okay.
There's 81 people. There's a whole list.
Wow. You know, you're going to be seen if you're on that.
Okay, no.
Also, they can hear it.
Correct.
Wow.
We're not music, right?
That's okay.
Everybody
Yes.
else is just
Yeah, we're keeping it PG.
Yes, and light. I muted everybody else so that they.
There's 81 people on this. That's really.
I know. You guys not want this road to be on? I mean, I can turn everything just over this way. No, people should see my problem. Oh, okay. Absolutely. Yeah. These are people who love my father. So Sarah, just make sure that Sarah can consider it. There's 81 people on the video.
Recording?
Yes. There's 81 people. Dad needs to sit here for this for the Zoom. So if you want to sit on one side, Dad, I'll come down.
Sure. important. Okay. That's very, cool. I appreciate that. So, yeah, no, I appreciate that. Okay. So, yeah, that's a, right, okay.
And how would
Okay, but I'm saying, I'm not gonna say there's no.
when you you sit next to
Yeah,
that.
of course.
Yeah, so that whole row is visible now. So anyone that's sitting,
Dad, come
Oh,
sit.
wow.
is just here.
Okay.
Yep, Dad, come here.
Did you see Beth?
Yes, she's on.
I'm sure she is. Okay.
Thank you all for being here.
We're gonna get started momentarily.
Okay, so, let me see if I've got connection where my mortgage started goes. So, right, okay.
If anybody has a cell phone, you can just silence it at this time.
Good idea.
How would you want to sit with that, like behind you?
Okay, I'm going to remove my mask because I'm far away from people. If you have a problem with that, I'll put it back on. But otherwise, it might be difficult to hear. When people come up, we've been told you to remove your mask. I'll step away, and so on. Family, friends, those who are here, those who are watching on Zoom, I hope you can see me and hear me. We're here today for the funeral, for the revival of Marilyn, our dear Marilyn. I've been the Rav of Delray Beach for a couple of years, and in that time, she was perhaps the most cheerful person at our shul. She would always have a wonderful smile, always greet me so cheerfully, always come up to say hello. In fact, I make lots of phone calls now in the crisis to see how everybody is, but she would phone me. Her and Jules would phone me regularly every week, Friday afternoon, say, Rabbi, I wish I good Shabbos, how are you? Because they knew they were going to miss me in shul, and I thought that was a wonderful testament to who she was. In fact, she loved the fact when I came that I was a rabbi in a previous job in Mapleton Park, Bensonhurst. And she was so excited because her father was a rabbi in Mapleton Park, Bensonhurst. And she thought for a while it was the same shul. But apparently I was the rabbi of the Young Israel, and her father was the rabbi of a different shul. But still, she was so excited, she was so tickled by the fact that her rabbi was from where she grew up, and her father was the rabbi herself. So, with that said, we're going to recite Psalm 1 in Hebrew, and I'm going to recite Psalm 15 in English. I feel that that sums Marilyn up. I don't know if you have that with you, but I will say it. And then I'm going to ask Rabbi Morningstar, who is in Oregon at the moment. She is going to phone me, and then she is going to say the Eishes Chayil and give a eulogy. Hopefully all the technology will all work. You'll be able to hear it. Then I have some written eulogies that the family have provided me from people who can't be here. And then anybody else who wants to say anything can say anything. Ashrei horish asher lo holach v'atzas shoim u'v'derech atrim lo yomad u'v'mosham leishim lo yoshav Kimesai das adinai chepsai u'v'sai lasai yagei yoimam v'lohila v'hayad yesh shasul apagim oyim asher piriyei gitoi gitoi v'alayu lo yipol v'chayr asher yaseh yatzliach v'chein harishoim Kim kamai sashe telefonu ruach al kei lo yokumu rishon b'mishpat v'chatovi b'adas tzadikim ki yodei Adonai derech tzadikim v'derech shoim tovei. Now I'll recite Psalm 15 in English, and I think perhaps you will see I've chosen this psalm because I think it sums Marilyn up to a T. A son of David, Lord, who may sojourn in your tent, who may dwell on your holy mountain? One who walks in purity,
does what is righteous, and speaks the truth from the heart, who has no slander on the tongue, nor has done harm to a fellow, nor cast disgrace towards a neighbor, in whose eyes a contemptible person is repulsive, but who honors those who are in awe of the Lord, who swears truthfully even to personal hurt and never retracts, who does not lend money on interest, nor takes a bribe against the innocent. One who does these things shall never falter. And I think that sums up your mother, Marilyn, kind of brought up as Baruch, to a T. She was such a lovely, gentle person, a gentle giant, somebody who was always cheerful, always smiling, always very happy, wonderful person to be around, great wife, mother, grandmother. And I think that we can say what it says here, who can dwell on your holy mountain, that we can be rest assured that she is going to her rightful resting place. She will be on the holy mountain. She will be taken under Hashem's wings, and she will receive her rightful reward. Whilst, of course, it's very difficult for the people that are left behind, of course, that mourn. But for Marilyn herself, I'm sure she is going to go to eternal bliss, to the Gan Eden, to gain reward for her wonderful deeds and her kindness. The verse in Mishlei chapter 19, verse 7 says, Tavas Odom Chasto. The hallmark of a person is their kindness. And that is, people can have a lot of money, people can have a lot of fame, but that's not what people remember about somebody. People say, oh yes, I remember her. She always used to smile. She was always cheerful. She phoned me in a pandemic. That's what people remember. Not how much money you had, how much fame and how much fortune and how well known you were when somebody was alive, how much power they had. They remember the good deeds and the kindness. And that is certainly something we can say about Marilyn. In the Ethics from the Fathers, chapter 1, which we read this week, it says one of the three hallmarks of a person is Ohei Shalom, Rodef Shalom, love peace, pursue peace. Greet everybody cheerfully with a cheerful countenance. And that is certainly the Marilyn that I knew, the Marilyn that everybody knew, the mother, the wife, the grandmother, the friend. And I also at this point want to pay tribute to her aide, who was with her for 5 years, making sure that she was well looked after. So we want to pass on our respect and our thanks to you for all the work that you did for her. I know you used to bring her to shul, she used to love coming to shul, and you helped facilitate that. And thank you for all the work that you did with her. So at this point, if I'd like to ask Rabbi Morningstar if she could phone me, we'll wait, and then I will put it on loudspeaker through the machine. Here we are. Okay. Rabbi Morningstar? Okay, let me put you on loudspeaker. Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi Sonder. I am so sad not to be with you all, but glad that we are able to connect in this way. When Marilyn was young, she was known as Midge because she was so little. She may have been little, but her heart was huge and full of love. She was raised by loving parents with her older brother, Jackie, whom she always adored. As the daughter of a prominent rabbi, she lived in the limelight with strict and narrow expectations. She married young and became a mother young, which necessitated that her education and career had to be put on hold. This was difficult for her, but she never lost sight of her goals. When her children were older, she became a teacher, and she absolutely loved teaching. She was an outstanding teacher. I was just reading this morning some beautiful comments that her teachers, her fellow teachers in Israel sent. She was loved by her fellow teachers, and her students remember her with love decades later. I had the opportunity to sit in on one of her classes in Israel, and witnessed the vitality and enthusiasm of her teaching and her students. Marilyn loved flowers. Her house on Adams Avenue had a beautiful pansy garden in the backyard that I remember whenever I see a pansy flower. She loved camaniotes and had a big picture of camaniotes in her living room. She loved arranging flowers and had a special talent for that. Marilyn loved to cook. She made gourmet meals and delicious chocolate chip cookies for her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Like her mother, Grandma Sid, she was an awesome cook. Our favorite dish growing up was, of course, bacon casserole. She always loved Israel and was sad to leave after living there for 20 years. She loved Judaism. She learned to read from Torah at the age of 78. She was so proud that she was able to read Torah at the Ufra before Asia and Chris's wedding. She loved to dance. She and Saba did a foxtrot together when they were courting, and we all remember her amazing dancing with Limor at Asia's wedding. She loved to sing. She taught us songs and sang to us as children. A, You're Adorable, Bear and Stewie's favorite, the Liz song. What is the Liz song? Me'al Piskat HaChatzovim. Me'adorot Hamati Amayit, Livkot Lirot Bior Panayit. Marilyn loved me and she treasured me as a daughter. It is beautiful that she and Shavuot will always be intertwined for me. Not only because she passed so soon after Shavuot, but because to me she was my Naomi. She always loved me as a daughter. And beyond that, she loved me as we were growing up for who I am and for the calming influence I had on Howie as a young child and still to this day. She loved my mother. Their friendship remained strong over decades. They raised their children together. They had a key to each other's houses and to each other's hearts. They were constantly present in each other's lives. They traveled together and they celebrated milestones together. Their friendship endured even while separated by thousands of miles. She loved her family. Howie, Meryl, Stu, Joel, Beth. She adored her grandchildren, Asia, Jonah, Ilana, Limor, Ethan, Sarah, and Leazar, and was absolutely delighted by her great-grandchildren, as not shown, Leo and Magnolia. But most of all, through sickness and in health, through sick and sin, from Brooklyn to West Hempstead to Rehoboth to Lexington to Delray Beach, under every circumstance and eternally, she loved Julie, who returned her love measure for measure. When Julie recited the Ancient Chayil to her, every Erev Shabbat of her adult life, he did it because he totally believed every single word. Their marriage was a beautiful model of acceptance and pure devotion. And it is a testament to their love that all of their children were able to create loving, long-term relationships. This is for Marilyn. Neshama, Neshalom Lo Yesai. Mama Tuto Belora, Oye Nayema, Tasha Tanartishi, Beta, Beta, I taka adios soter, Nerkata Lama, Ankami Osama, Baditera, the Betan, the Somanarota, Lamanata, Sabatika, Krita, Anatakaram. Agrabe Osmanana, Name Rota, Tamakito Chakra, Loyisema, Lailani, Jata, Chilka, Akishor, Nekatana, Tamsupale. Tarsam and Ani, Diadema, Diadema, Tira the Beta, Shale, Kiko Beta, Mamushani, Marmati, Mastawa, Shashi Agaman, Livusha. Arim Mama, she to keep Sadin and Sabatin Kor, Hakor not Nalikani, Osea Levusha, it is Sunday on my road. Kiha Fatma, Victoria Chesed Halishon, Sophia Lisa Beta, the Lemasu Ototes. Hamubanya Yashua, Awali Halama. Manos Asulaya, Vihat Ali Alkulana, Sheker Ape, Hevel Hayoti, Ishayir Adonai, Kisama, Tenu. In your memory, for blessing the gun aid into human sense.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Rabbi Sue Morgenstern. Okay, I don't know if you heard, but Jules was saying how appropriate the singing of the Eshes Chayil was, and certainly has gone down very well. That was Rabbi Sue Morgenstern, daughter-in-law. She is the assistant to the rabbi at the Chabura Shir Chadash in Ashland, Oregon. So I'm going to put the phone down. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to read out the eulogies that have been received. I should stress that many, many more emails and eulogies were received, and every one of them has been read by the family and has been received, and they thank everybody very much, but of course, we can't read all of them out, so this is just a selection of those they have chosen. This is from Joan Krause, Marilyn's cousin. It's hard to believe that small, vivacious Marilyn, or Midge, as she was called, is gone. I'm a first cousin to Marilyn and Jack. Their father, Rabbi Ben, and my mother, Molly, were brother and sister, and I was right between them in age. We all lived in Brooklyn and would meet at our grandmother's house in Borough Park were at the weddings in the Morganson home that Ben performed and Sid catered. Why were the snacks we stole from the wedding parties the tastiest ever? Marilyn was maid of honor at my wedding, and she and Julie married shortly after. We followed the Finkels to West Hampstead when our families were young. Marilyn's daughter Meryl and my daughter Sarah became best friends, only 1 month apart. Sue Mauer, later to become Howie's wife, also grew up in West Hampstead. There were so many connections. And then the Finkels got ready to move to Israel. Marilyn was so excited, she kept repeating that she couldn't believe it was happening. I remember the happy and sad farewell party for the community in our basement. We followed Marilyn and Julie to Israel as well, but only 23 years later, when they were about to return to the States. That too was a painful loss. But meetings continued over the years in Boston and in Jerusalem, and the special feeling between Marilyn and myself was never broken, not even now. May her memory be a blessing. Yehi Zivra Baruch. The next one comes from Ezra Miller, Marilyn's nephew. I was just talking to my parents, and I fondly mentioned the time that your parents drove down to Lakewood for a visit, and your mom kept feeling that her posterior was cold. She had been sitting on a frozen cheese. It's just funny, some of the stories that we recall. She was always so happy to see me. Each visit was special. Well, this is a sad time. You were blessed with an amazing mom who was endowed with incredible passion and love. This one comes from Brevin Pretorius, Marilyn's grandson. I'm so sorry to hear about Sabta's passing and what it means for Saba and for the family. I don't know how to be best supported from afar, but I will do whatever I can. I'm glad I got to hang with Sabta a few times, from visiting in Florida to our wedding. She was the only grandma I've had in the past 2 decades. I felt genuine warmth, like a spoiled grandson-in-law would. Every time she was so happy to see me. I felt loved and welcomed, and she made it clear that I should take great care of her granddaughter, which is what I always want from a grandma. Please share hugs on my behalf with Auntie Meryl and the family. I'm here for any support. Lots of love. The next one comes from Sarah Feldman, Marilyn's granddaughter. Safta, I don't even know where to start. First, I'll tell you how much I miss you. It's really hard being here in this apartment without you. Your presence is everywhere. When me and Mom came to the house a few days ago, I expected you to come to the door with your walker in one of your night dresses, telling us to eat some food and giving me the biggest hug in the world. I remember one time I surprised you, and I still remember the love I felt from when you saw me at the door. You were so happy and surprised, I was worried you were having a heart attack. I even have a video to prove it. I keep finding myself going into your room, smelling your perfume, and looking at all of your clothing. I miss you so much already. Throughout the years, most of my friends have had the opportunity of meeting you. You have not only impacted your immediate family's lives, but anybody who meets you. I'm so grateful that you have been with me for so much of my life. I remember you used to pick me up from school all the time, and I don't think I realized how lucky I was then to have those times with you. But now I cherish those memories. I'm so thankful that you were able to come to my college graduation with Saba and Bobby. Again, I don't think I realized how lucky I was then to have you there, but now I could not be lucky. I know it's selfish, but I just want you present for the rest of the happy moments of my life. When I said goodbye to you, I told you how much I loved you and how much I'm going to miss you. I promised that we will make sure Saba will be taken care of. I know it won't be the same for him without you, but we will do our best to be there for him no matter what. I could talk about you forever, and I know I will. I just want you to remember how loved you were, and we will be thinking about you forever. Next one comes from Barbara Calman, friend of Marilyn. Marilyn and Jules were so kind to us when we first showed up in Israel, and were it not for them, my family and I would probably never have stayed. Your mother was like a mother hen guarding her chicks, always checking in to see if they were doing okay. And after we found our feet, she and your father became good friends. Many of us were devastated when your parents moved back to the States, and their absence was palpable. Marilyn had such a strong personality. In my mind's eye, I still see her vital and young. My heart goes out to all of you at this time, especially at this terrible time. I hope you are all able to sustain each other and give each other comfort in your grief. I will always have wonderful memories of Marilyn, love and sympathy. The next one comes from Aria Frimmer, Marilyn's friend. My name is Aria Frimmer, the oldest of the 3 Frimmer boys living in Israel. My parents were younger colleagues and friends of the Morgensterns, Marilyn's parents. To us, the Morgensterns were Uncle Ben and Auntie Sid. I may be 73 now, but in my youth, Marilyn was a beloved babysitter who first exposed me to Mad magazine. Decades later, after receiving smicha, rabbinic ordination, and my doctorate in chemistry in 1974, my wife Esther and I made Aliyah to Rehovot and the Weizmann Institute of Science. Much to our pleasant surprise, the Finkels were there to welcome us with open arms. They eased us through the Israeli bureaucracy and into Israeli life. Marilyn and Julie were among the founders of the Berman Shul and at the center of the English-speaking community in Rehovot. Marilyn was an outstanding friend, energetic firecracker of a high school teacher, and creative coordinator of the thriving English program at the Witzel High School. She welcomed Esther into the program, and Esther maintained the high standards Marilyn had put into place. The Finkels' departure for the States to be with their offspring was a great loss to the vibrant Rehovot community they helped establish. Yehi Zikra Baruch, may her memory serve as an inspiration and blessing to the entire family. Amen. This comes from Bob and Anne Merler, family friends. Meryl and I and our family are so sorry. I remember your mother as a vibrant woman who embraced me and Anne Merle with tremendous love. She and Jules instantly became family when Anne Merle and I got together. Among my many memories of her is your mother at our wedding. She made a simcha. This is a sad day. We love her and will miss her very much. Finally, I'd like to say on behalf of Milt and Shirley Sabin, they were neighbors for nearly 15 years, good friends, and they want to express their sorrow to the family. They used to go out every week without fail to eat. They were great friends, loved each other very much, and have great and fond memories, and they will miss her dearly. At this point, I'd like to ask if anybody else would like to share any memories. No? Okay, in that case, we will conclude the ceremony with the memorial prayer. I don't know if you have it in your Keil Mari Rachamim. I'm not sure if you have it in your no, and that will be followed. I think Howie is going to recite the Kaddish. Because of social distancing, they have decided usually we will try and walk a little bit behind Marilyn as the mitzvah of escorting Marilyn, but it's been decided that due to social distancing, we're not going to encourage that, but the family are welcome to pay their respects as they wish. the name Chanamalka Bas Baruch.
Sylvia Navarro.
Sylvia Baruch.
Right, she likes to be called Sylvia Navarro.
Harab Baruch HaKohen, right, okay, thank you. El Mole Rachamim, Shochein Vameroyim, Ametzein Menuchanechoina, Al Kafe Ashechina, Vamalos Kadoshim Tahurim, Kazoar Harag Yamas, Yorim, Bas Nishmas, Vishachana Malka, Basara Baruch HaKohen V'Tzivya. Shavlechol Yolama, Bavushon Mispalei Ba'Aliyos Nishmasa, V'Gan Eden, Teheimen Nuchavasa, Lachem Abal Rachamim, Yastireha V'Seiseg Nafavei Lavamim, V'Yitzaror HaChayim Es Nishmasa, Adonai Nachalosa, V'Sanuach V'Shalom Al Mishkava, V'Nomar Amen.
So let's come with me. Can somebody point the Zoom like right at the casket?
It is.
It is okay. Fine, good. You good? Leave that end open. So the people out there in Zoom land, we're going to say Kaddish. Please join us. I think we can take over from that if we want to. Is everybody focused on, they say the spirit hovers around the body till it's buried. So any last face-to-face, so to speak, energy, here's your chance. Yitkabal v'yitkabah shmei rabbah, v'yamad tivrach v'tei v'yamich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei l'chol Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kariv v'yimiru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'me'el maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei, yitadar v'yithalal v'yitalei shmei l'kushav v'yichu, le'ela mikol b'chata v'shirata, Tushbachata, Benechamata, Damiram, Biama, Bimur Amen. Yehei Shlam Arab Mitzvayah Chaim Aleinu Bal Kol Yisrael Bimur Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Ku Yaseh Shalom Aleinu Bal Kol Yisrael, Bal Kol Yoshvei Tevel Bimur Amen. Baruch Dayan Haemet. Take this. Just an interest. Grab Daddy. Hold on to that. Hands. Keeping Mom soft in our circle forever. Mom, we don't love you and we're going to take care of Dad. We're going to take care of Dad. Right. You don't have to worry about that at all. And I know you don't want to. You're still going to them. Exactly. But you don't know how much you've done for us. And you've created a wonderful family. And we're going to support each other and we're going to support Dad. And we'll just keep on missing you every day. Go with parents.
That's what I was thinking, doing seminars, saying,
Grandma,
Grandpa regards.
Oh, everybody say hello. Where?
In the nice white dress.
See what you've created. Us and Asia and Liazad and Joel and Beth. All the peace soup and all the lives. Okay. Yeah. Goodbye.
Baker Street. West Run.
Which is going to.
Thank you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the formal part of the funeral service. Marilyn will be going to Baker Street Cemetery in Boston. She'll be leaving tomorrow. The burial, I believe, will be on Monday. The family, I believe, are staying here, and the shiva will start now and will finish on Thursday morning. On behalf of myself, everybody connected with the Delray Orthodox Shul, where I'm the rabbi, where Marilyn and Jules were members, we'd like to extend to you, family, to Howie, to Stuart, to Sue, to Meryl, and to the grandchildren, and to the great-grandchildren. May the Almighty comfort you amongst those who mourn for Zion and Jerusalem. And of course, now it's a very, very difficult time. And we are with you, we feel for you. But rest assured that your mother has gone to a good place for all the good deeds that we heard about in the eulogies. What a wonderful, kind, caring person that she was. And she will go and she will receive the rewards that her life, her 85 years here on this world, deserves. And on that note, I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom, and please feel free to take time to pay your respects. Right, you have a time you want to? Oh, okay. Okay, we'll yes, thank you. The family would like to host a Zoom shiva at some point during the week. Details will be provided through the shul, and the family will get their details too. We've asked that no visitors go round to the house due to the pandemic, and people can phone the family when they wish.
Probably. And then I'll find out where it gets